I might start a podcast. We should do a podcast.
Yeah. Let's start a podcast. Why not?
Yo, we are back. This is episode 5, man, of Might Start a Podcast. We still didn't start a podcast, but we still might start a podcast.
Yes, that should be the running thing for the entire time that we do this.
And just never get super legit with it and just like have this be like a beta thing and say, yeah, we're talking about starting a podcast.
Yeah.
We're just because that's what literally every single conversation you have in LA, probably everywhere, but mainly LA, it comes down to, I might start a podcast. Yeah, I might, do an album, or I'm working on this and I'm working on this. Nobody ever really talks about what they did do or like what they are doing. It's what they're gonna do. So that's
So even if we somehow become one of the top podcasts in the world, we're always going to be in that stage of we might do it.
Yeah. we'll never be, like, fully admit to ourselves that we are podcasters, because
it's like, this is something I talked to you about like a while ago. Podcasting has become like everyone's doing it now. So it's like things always come in waves, There's the Facebook wave, the Instagram wave, the TikTok wave, the Twitch wave, the streaming wave, the podcast wave,
right,
the vlogging wave. It sucks to always be like, we're always the surfers who are hopping on, and there's like 500 other surfers on the wave, and we're trying to get on our board and get balanced and look cool. And it's like, man, how do you hop on something before everyone else is doing it?
Honestly, it doesn't matter like when you hop on, as long as what you're doing is different. And I think that what we're doing is awesome. I know because there were like 10 people who comment on the last YouTube video, and they made us feel good. So anyways, man, dude, so I want to talk about girls and dating, man.
Let's get right into it.
I want to get right at music. Is bored, dude. Music consumes way too much of our lives, but you know what? We need to have our fun too. And I'm a single man. You're a single man.
All the single ladies.
And it's crazy because like when you're single and you start to get to late 20s, early 30s, it's a fork in the road. It's either like you're dating somebody that you're gonna get married to, or you've just been single for so long that you can't even imagine being in a relationship. And that's like where I am right now, is like I've enjoyed single life, so like I can't imagine having this type of happiness that I have ripped from me. And I think that that's the only thing that being in a relationship will do, is just rip my happiness from me. It's a very morbid way of looking at it, but like,
yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, I mostly date these days by desire. So it's just like when I'm like just want to smash something and I'm like at that point, then I'll kind of scramble, and like I've gotten so good at dating by desire that now I'll hit up a girl like a few weeks ahead of time, and I'll be like, hey, would love to see you soon. And then I'll start corresponding with them more and texting more. And then I get to the point, because girls are smart, they know when you're just like hitting them up just to smash.
Oh,
like,
bro, they have instinctual superpowers. They know. But here's the thing, me and you, we're guys that like wear our hearts on our sleeves, and like we're not good at lying, but I know dudes who are just great at lying, and they have just banged hundreds and hundreds of girls and broken hearts because they lie to them just to get pussy.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just, for me, you got to have a lead up buffer, man. You got to have a lead up buffer of small casual conversation. So it starts like this. It's small casual conversation. Then it's showing interest on the level of like, hope you're doing well. Like, would love to see you soon. After the initial text correspondence, a few days later, hey, how's your day going? Small talk. Then couple story replies on Instagram.
Yes.
Then couple post likes if they're posting regularly. And by that time, they're like, he's interested in me again. And then you meet up and you smash. And then for me, it's like the realization, like I'm literally just filling a hole of emptiness in my life, metaphorically and physically, by trying to just like smash these chicks and I really in no way, shape, or form care about being in a serious relationship with someone right now.
But
And
see,
it
that's
sucks, but
that's the cruel thing about it, is that before you nut and before you have sex with them, there's some voice in your head is telling you, oh, you like this girl. This girl's, you could, like, I really think I'm gonna date a girl. And that's why, like, girls get mad at me, because I do this, like, after I have sex with them, I just lose all interest. I've done it with pretty much 99.9% of girls I've ever had sex with. And it's not cool. And that's why I had to stop having sex with girls, because I was hurting too many people. And like the last episode when you asked me about, so have you gotten laid? That's why I didn't really want to talk about it, because I really hurt somebody, because I just didn't know. And I was a pussy about it. I didn't know how to tell. Like, how do you tell somebody, hey, after I had sex with you, I really got over you and want nothing to do? Nobody wants to hear that. So,
you can't say that. It's tough, but it's just like,
okay, as somebody with a lot of, experience, what's the way when you have sex with a girl and you get over her? What's the best way to let her down easy? There's no way.
No, I mean, there really is no way. But like for me, I have these moments where I just say to myself, I've been on the other end of that many times before, to where it's like, I really want to see this girl. She's kind of dodging me. I'm into her. She's kind of dodging me. And she says she wants to hang out, but like every time it comes down to it, there's an excuse, or let's do it another day. And you kind of just get frustrated, and it comes down to like, you just want someone to be brutally real with you. And though it might hurt in the second, it's the not knowing that's annoying. And it's the game playing and the like,
right.
And the uncertainty that can kind of get to you.
Right.
So for me, it's just like, I kind of try to go with what would I want. And sometimes you'll just say to somebody like, hey, I enjoy hanging out with you. I like hooking up with you. You're sexy, you're fun, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't going to be anything past that. And if you want to just casually hook up, then I'm down. And if you don't, then unfortunately, like, I'm not really about being in a relationship right now. And you could say with anyone,
right,
they're going to know that it's just them. It's like I don't know. There's not a lot of great ways to do it, but just I try and think of what would I want,
Right. Hey, can you get your mic a little bit closer to you? I realize I'm probably coming through way more clear than you are. But
should I go with just like handheld like you?
Yeah, why don't we do that for now, just because, and
Okay.
to the audience out there, we're still trying to figure out our groove here with the audio and the production.
Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
While I'm doing this, didn't you used to have like a text that you would tell every girl that you were hanging out with? Didn't you have a pre-written? Didn't you have like a pre-written text? Tell us about the pre-written text while I fix my mic.
Okay, it's not that I had a pre-written text. It's just that I would say that pretty much the same thing whenever I would get over it. I would say, hey, it's basically like I just said, it's not you, it's me, but in a very eloquent, articulate way. I was just like, look, I had no idea. I really thought that I was ready to date again. But after spending time with you, I just realized that I just need to still be single right now. I need to focus more on myself. And I feel so bad because you deserve better. And then the thing that always gets them is, you know what? It's just not fair to you. When you say it's just not fair to you, they really think that you actually do give a fuck about them. And
yeah. I mean, can you hear me better now, by the way?
Oh, you're amazing. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure there are girls who really respect that level of honesty. But what's to not be respected, and I have to give you crap for this, is the whole "it's not you, it's me" thing.
Yeah.
In Seinfeld, George goes crazy that one time. 1 second.
But that's how everybody breaks up with people, is they just say it's not you, it's me, and whatever, they spin it whatever way they want and use whatever wording, but it comes down to that one phrase and that one idea. Trust me, you're such a great person, but it's me. But there's merit behind that though.
I don't think that I hate that. If someone says to me, if a
Who
girl
broke up with you? Who broke up with you and used that shit on you? You're hurt.
No, it's literally when I saw that on Seinfeld, it resonated with me, and it's true. Like, don't use that. The reason it resonates with me is because if I don't want to see a girl, it's definitely has to do with them. It's because I'm not as into them as I would be somebody who I really want to see.
Right.
That's the best way I can break it down. If I'm not into them as much as somebody I really want to see, then it is them. And unfortunately, like, that's just how the cookie crumbles. There
Right.
are reasons that are internally personal to me that are also added into the situation. But at the end of the day, like if I really like a girl, if I'm really into her, then I'm going to want to hang out with her and going to want to be with her. And if a girl doesn't want to hang out with me, I just assume that they're on that same exact page.
Dude, there's this one girl, that's why I love conversations when like they spark different stories that you didn't think of, and then they just they're rekindled in your brain, and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this person was a fuck. So like there's this girl that me and you both knew, we both talked to. It just, I feel like there's a girls who like you like me and vice versa, and we've overlapped with a few girls, and it's
We don't
never
necessarily look alike, so it might just be a white rapper thing.
It is. People have fetish for white rappers. I know that for a fact. But yeah, there's this one girl that my first girlfriend in LA, shout out to Liz. She told me she was dating somebody for 5 years. They were probably going to get married. It was like a happy relationship. They were both financially doing well. They were each other's best friends. And then I came into her life, and she always told her friends and joked with her friends, like, I just want to date a young white rapper. I came into her life, and everything that she had ever known, she just threw her whole life away to make it work with me, and me being the douchebag that I was / am ended that shit super quick. And then by that time, that dude who she was dating for 5 years had found a new girlfriend, had pretty much gotten engaged, now has like kids with that lady, and she's just alone. And she owns up to it, and she jokes about it. She's an awesome person. Shout out to Liz. But I want, dude, the story, because like it's funny because everybody has like breaking up or telling somebody that you're not interested. There are like so many shady things that have happened to me / that I've done to other people. And I'm thinking this one story in particular, which is fucking hilarious. You know the girl. I don't want to say her name, but it's that it starts with a Z, whatever. We'll talk about it later. We both talked about this girl, whatever. So long story short, me and her we were talking heavy pretty much every single day. I was in Vietnam, and everybody was just banging hookers left and right. Not the people in
Okay.
not the people in relationships, but people were just banging it. Like, it was crazy. And I was so into this girl at the time that I wasn't doing all I was thinking about was her. They would be like,
wait, am I sensing you expressing a little regret for not banging hookers right now?
Yes, absolutely. After you hear this story, listen, okay, dude, these guys have the most epic hooker banging stories that I just wasn't a part of. And when's the next time I'm going to be in Vietnam, you know?
After you tell this story, I want to know about how the hookers were in Vietnam. But
okay, oh my God, I have a crazy ass fucking straight out of Rush Hour 2 story. But anyways,
okay, all right.
So my friends are just like and it's not even just hookers. It's like chicks in hostels. It's like college 2.0 when you're traveling and going from hostel to hostel when you're like in Vietnam, because you have people from all over the world who are just letting their morals go. All they're doing is drinking. They're in a hostel because they want to be social with people, and there's 10 people in the same. I mean, man, it was straight up college, which was awesome.
What happens in Vietnam stays in Vietnam.
Yeah.
but please go on with the story.
So,
and I didn't hook up with the Z girl. I know which girl you're talking about now. I never hooked up with her.
I know, but she did talk to you, and I'm glad that you didn't hook up with her, because she is so fucking good in bed that I didn't care if she has done the shadiest shit, and I'm about to get into this. And if she hit me up right now, like, hey, I want to come over and have sex with you, I'm sorry, I would drop everything. That's how I am a slave to her vagina, bro. It's crazy. But anyways, this podcast is off to a hot start. So I'm over here, and like everybody's like doing their things with girls, and I'm just over here like jacking off in the bathroom to her naked pictures that she sent me. I'm just like so into I was just into her so hardcore. Then the first thing I do when I get back from Vietnam, she was in Sacramento, I was in LA. I drive all the way up to Sacramento to see her the first thing, and we just like hang out, spend the night together. It was all good. And then after that, I was going to Reno with my friends for 3 days, and the plan was I was going to go to Reno for 3 days with my friends. Why I went to Reno, that's a different story. Nobody should ever go to Reno. There's a website called godhatesreno.com, and it's an awesome website, and it's true. God does hate Reno. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to my friends at Reno. But so anyways, so I got back. So I'm in Reno, and then I'm like trying to text her, and she's like not responding at all. One word text responses. And I'm like, this is so weird. We were like in love. What's going on? She wouldn't tell me what's going on. Then I go on Facebook and I see her and these high quality photos, like she hired a photographer to take photos of her and this other dude who she was seeing. Mind you, a dude who was 25 and looked 56, but he knew how to fix cars.
I've seen this guy before. Yeah, I've seen this guy before.
And I just couldn't. And the messed up thing is that when we were hanging out, I was with her while she was picking out a dress, and I gave her advice, and she was trying out dresses for me. The dress that she was picking out was for a photo shoot that she was doing with a different dude who she was seeing, and just and didn't give me any explanation at all. Had me see these photos and didn't say anything. Like that was. I'm still hurt, and I'm mad even talking about this.
Do you know what she was doing? She was at the old ice cream parlor trying out flavors, my man. That's what she was doing. And she liked let's call him pistachio, and let's call you mint chip. She liked the pistachio a little bit better than the mint chip, man, unfortunately.
To be honest, I still would rather that situation than a situation where I am hurting somebody else just because I'm over it. So like this last thing really hurt me. What about you? What's like the shadiest way you've gotten broken up? What's the shadiest thing a girl's ever done to you? Can you think of it off the top of your head?
I don't know, man. I mean, I will tell you, but back to her, like, I remember that situation. That was literally bizarre because that guy did look like a 55-year-old middle-aged high school football coach. And just no offense to this girl. No offense to this girl. She's a nice enough girl, but her preferences, like, I don't know, people who characterize themselves and aren't like in show business are weird to me. Like, why are you calling yourself redneck Asian and you're not like, you're calling yourself redneck Asian and you're not like releasing an album or vlogging or doing anything? That's kind of weird to me. Like, you just want to be known as a redneck Asian. Like that's it. Just, be yourself and show who you are. But I guess that's what she likes this guy because he, some girls really like a guy that can like fix the air conditioner.
Totally.
Other girls like a guy who can call and pay someone to fix the air conditioner when it breaks.
It's insane. No, girls love when a guy gets his hands greasy. I remember, man, when I was working at a restaurant and I was into this girl who was a hostess, and you know how the server hostess, there's just a super hot hostess who just stands there and just triple seats you and doesn't do anything. This girl. And I had the hots for her. She never gave me. And then all of a sudden one day, one of my coworkers, her tire, she needed to like change a tire, and I like changed her tire for her. I'm not kidding. She fucked me that night, and she was like, while she was on top of me, she was like, just so you know, like what really turned me on was just like thinking about you changing a tire.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
That to me is. I understand it, but in a way, it's really honestly pathetic. I don't know. Like, come on. Like,
okay. Have you ever?
I'll give you a quick bad shady breakup story thing for me. Man, I gotta think really about this. Well, I knew a girl. Her initials are MM, so you know who this is. And I went to visit her in Santa Barbara. And was really super into her.
Mm-hmm.
She was really hot. She was fun to talk to. She seemed really into me.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good time together. The chemistry was electric between us.
Right.
She would send me texts like, I've been thinking about you all day. She would say things to me like, we have bomb ass sex and all this shit. She'd pumping me up, making me feel good.
Right.
I worked so hard. I was doing like a grocery delivery job, Instacart at the time, saved up a bunch of money. She invited me to come see her for Valentine's Day weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yes, let's get it. First day I go over there. We have dinner together. We have great sex. I wake up the next day. And I remember sitting in the bathroom the next day. I was taking a shit. And I remember sitting there, and she was like in the room still asleep. And I was like, man, I really like this girl, and I feel so happy and content right now. But that worries me because I'm so far from where I need to be in my music career that being content and happy, I feel like it's going to slow me down.
Right.
And for some reason, me saying that or thinking that, I put that into the atmosphere, because the next night we're hanging out, we're having a good day, we're chilling, we're at a party. There's this kid, he's a fan of my music, spitting like dope ass freestyles.
Hell
He
yeah.
comes up to me, whispering in my ear, like, I think she told me she loved me. She did,
wow.
actually. She did. She said the night before, she said, I think I love you.
Hold up. Sidebar. You spitting bars in front of fans with a girl whispering in your ear saying, I love you. That sounds like your idea of heaven. Right?
I mean, I was on an emotional high.
Yeah.
And I cannot even tell you what happened. I took a few shots. I drank a few beers. And listen to this. I really, really like this girl, right? And for the first time in my life, I blacked out drunk.
Really? First
For
time.
the first time in my life ever, I blacked out drunk.
Because you were so happy in the moment, and you were like, life couldn't get better. I'm just gonna keep.
I don't know what happened. The last thing I remember is like, and of course you remember bits and pieces of the night as you go forward. Right. I took a couple shots of Jaeger and drank some beers, and I'd never really took shots of Jaeger ever before. So I think that was a red flag for me or whatever. And all I remember is like being at a party and sitting in the corner and looking around at people like pissed off.
Oh, no.
I was polishing off random beers that were on a table.
Oh, Jesus.
I guess I ended up telling her that like, you should want to date me and be with me if you don't want to date me. And she was completely justified in not wanting to date me. She was still in school, figuring things out, but she was really into me. And I told her, I'm like, I want you to be my girlfriend. And she said to me, like, let's take this slow. I'm really into you. I don't want it to get fucked up. And like, when I get back from school, I'm going to move to the Bay. And I think then we should start dating. But for now, which is probably like some, you know, code speak for like, hey, I still want to fuck some guys while I'm here and weigh out my options. But she was into me, I could tell. And all I remember is like polishing off random beers from tables at this party.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Yeah, bad, dude, bad. And the only other thing besides that I remember is throwing up all over the side of her car.
Did your throw up hit her car?
Yeah, and a little bit of it landed inside. And I guess this is not like a shady breakup story. I mean, me and you also were talking to a girl, and she hooked up with you and then told you to not tell me that you and her hooked up.
Yeah.
She was trying to kick it with me like a few days later. That was kind of shady, but that's not a girl who really is breaking up with you and being shady. But anyways, like, this girl basically ended up telling me that like slowly but surely that she wasn't into me. And then we met up at this coffee shop, and she was just like, I'm not into it. And then the other day I was randomly on TikTok and it popped up, and she was doing a TikTok dancing to one of my songs.
Wow.
Like, damn, this has really come full circle. At least she still likes my music. But yeah, I kind of fucked that up. But to me, the shady part of it is if you can't stomach being with someone at their worst, then you aren't really into someone and see the goodness in them. You know what I mean? But
damn, bro,
that happened.
That's
but back to the hookers in Vietnam.
No, but before we go into that, we have we read all the comments, good or bad. I appreciate everybody who comments and supports us. You know, you guys are keeping us going. One of the comments said, you guys should just keep it you two, and then maybe like each episode have a guest pop in for 20 minutes. I thought that was a great idea. Shout out to you, whoever you are, for that idea. So that's what we're doing right now. One of my friends, I know him, Kat knows him. He's the lead singer in a band called the Happies. One second. I'm going to call him right now because he was in the room. He was in the waiting room.
I think people want to know about the hookers in Vietnam though.
Oh, they do they?
I don't know. We were also going somewhere else. I have a funny breakup story for you, man.
One second.
Ooh. I have after this, after we get off with our friend, we'll go into a story of a time that we broke a girl's heart and she reacted poorly.
Oh, I love that. Cause you never know how they're going to react. Some people.
Oh man, I had a girl. She might have ruined my life, to be honest.
Throw a fit. She must have been an Aries. No, I don't care. I don't know anything.
I'll log in right now. Let's see.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Log in right now, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right into talking about some really heavy shit. We're We're gonna go straight into your past because the first 30 minutes of this podcast was talking about your dark past. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around. No, we've just been talking about relationships, but come into the chat right now and yeah, we'll have some fun.
For sure. Right on, man. Right on. Sounds good.
All right. See you soon. So he should be in here soon. We'll see.
Okay, I'll tell you a quick one. I'll tell you a really quick one because it'll be quick. I hooked up with a girl. She was really weird. I probably shouldn't have hooked up with her, but we hooked up, right? And we had a one-night stand. And the next day she wanted to hang out. And I was like, hey, I really feel like this is moving a little bit fast. I had a good time with you, but I'm really not trying to date anyone. And she's like, okay. And then like, I'd say a day later, maybe even the same day, she sent me this long text. And if you guys in the comments of this video really want me to find it, I'm sure I could dig it up. But she wrote me this long letter.
Oh my God.
And she said, you devilish rap star. This is what you did to me. Da, 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 da. And she wrote about all these things about me and how I make her feel. And it was incoherent. And she said, sometimes when I have sleepy time, I think of the ways of the world and how it rotates. And I understand that our da, 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 da. It was really weird, bizarre, right? And then she talked about
what the fuck?
Yeah. And then she talked about her tarot card readings and said that like her tarot card readings had like set her up for meeting someone like me. And she ended it with sub SUV SUX sub sucks vampirous kiss to you. Whatever that means, whatever sub sucks vampirous kiss to you means. And to this day, I still feel sometimes like maybe I'm hexed and I haven't found the success I've wanted in my rap career because this one girl read some tarot cards and sub sucks vampirous kissed me. Nick Petty from the Happies.
Dude, what's up, Pat?
Welcome to the podcast.
Man. Always an honor, man. Thanks for having me, bro. Always been a fan of yours, Kat. Huge fan.
Love you, dude. Love you.
Love your stuff, man.
Hey, can you
collared shirt gang today, bro? I like it.
Yeah, fuck it. You know,
so
I was like thinking I would do it outside, but or I mean, it may get like a lot of mosquitoes. I'll go back like inside or some shit. But other than that, yeah, man.
It's cool. Mosquitoes can't bite via Zoom, so as long as they're only biting you, that sounds like a personal problem. So
yeah.
Nick, so before for the viewers out there who don't know Nick and who don't know the Happies, they're I'm not just saying this to gas you up, one of my favorite bands to listen to. They just happen to be from the same area. They sound like no band I've ever heard. They're just, you guys are doing your own thing. It's like pop punk, I guess. And what really intrigues me is like you wrote a lot of these songs, and you guys have released 2 albums. You're working on a 3rd album. You perform. You're kind of like killing the local scene in the northern, just the Bay Area.
Before the COVID, before all the COVID, we had a lot of big shit going on, like way bigger crowds and high schools and festivals, but they got postponed, which is good. So yeah. It's been going good in California, yeah.
So I want to know, like, your songwriting. A lot of these songs, didn't you write? Because let's just get it out there. You had a brief stint in jail. You have, you battled with your demons, but you've turned it around, and it's been a beautiful thing to like watch. And you're like an inspiration to a lot of people who are going through whatever
addiction stuff. Yeah, a lot of addiction people and friends who. It's weird, man. It's like, and I appreciate everything you said for real. Like all that, like, like a lot of artists, I'm kind of bad with compliments, like I appreciate it. But then the second I let it like get to my head, I start writing shitty music. So I just always try to be like just super grateful, like, but yeah, no, it means a lot. Yeah, I got into drugs when I was like, I think like 16 or so. And
wow.
A weird thing that happened was like, I always wanted to try opium. So that was like this thing that I had like said, I had smoked pot or whatever and like drank, and shit like that. But for some reason I want to try opium. This kid said he had opium. It was heroin. I smoked it. And then I kind of got exposed to like the high of opioids and all that shit by accident. And that kind of like let a guard down, and then if you're like a kid going through like, divorce and all that type of shit, you may ADHD and shit, you may be more susceptible to like, like just that type of lifestyle of like drugs helping. And dude, for a while, genuinely, they were really, really fun. But there came a time it was just like, I think just like the whole thing with that was like, a lot of my homies who got caught up in that is that they got money problems because opiates were like, it was like $40 pills back then.
Jesus.
And like, yeah, and they're like 50 times stronger than a Vicodin or something. So just going right into it, money problems, and people start writing checks, and then they're they're
Shit.
sick.
And
yeah, it happens pretty fast.
Man, one of my friends actually just the other day, it was so weird. They did a local article on me, and then one of my friends who
that was a great article. That was a sick article.
I appreciate that. And can you do me a favor and fix the framing so there's a little bit less there's a little bit too much headroom right now? Yeah, that's perfect right there. Awesome.
How's
Great.
that? Cool.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Wonderful.
So yeah, my friend, like that's what you're talking about, like with like drug addicts when they run out of money, they do like a lot of them steal bikes from people and then sell them, or just steal shit from people and they'll sell it on like Let Go. Like when you go to someone's Facebook page and their whole Facebook page is just a bunch of Let Go links, like selling this random digital camera.
They're all meth. Yeah, they're fucking up.
Damn.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
I got a question.
Yeah.
This might be a dumb question or whatever, because most people, have probably heard about this or looked it up. But I want to know from someone, like, heroin to a lot of people is like the biggest of the biggest of drugs.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Holy shit,
fentanyl, maybe, but yeah, heroin was the worst.
Wait, what did you say? Which one is
fentanyl?
The biggest? Fentanyl
is like super
fentanyl's what's killing people.
Bad right now.
Yeah. But like when you picture heroin, you picture like either the pills or like literal injection. So what I want to know is like, what does the high of heroin feel like, and why do you think people get addicted to it so much?
Great question. Jesus.
Yeah. So it feels kind of like it hits like the same parts of your brain as sex and shit like that. So it kind of hits you with a feeling of like feeling really warm and like carefree, and kind of like puts all your problems like into a little like basket, and that's your only problem. Then it's really weird. It's like it feels so good that you would do a lot to keep that feeling and shit.
Yeah,
that's
dangerous.
The part of it that like pulls you in. It's like,
wow.
I don't know if you ever like broken a leg, been on like Vicodin or anything or something like that, but it's like that times like 30, without like Tylenol. And it's just really addicting because especially if you've had someone in your family that like got hurt and had to take it, you're way more susceptible, just like the Irish alcoholic thing, same type of thing. Like,
so what was the moment when you were like, I'm not doing these drugs anymore, I have to say no? Because a lot of people unfortunately never hit that moment. So like, what was the moment for you?
Dude, to be honest, like, God, man, it got me in a lot of trouble. Like, I'd say for about 2 or 3 years, like I was graduated from high school, like on Oxycontin, Oxycontin 80, like got my diploma high as fuck.
Jesus.
Falling asleep while I'm talking to my parents, like I'm eating soup, like, like the whole,
God,
dude, it's dark shit. But I think like, dude, I got into stealing. The whole reason I went to jail was like I was writing checks for drugs, like just making up checks, and then grab jewelry. These are like the worst things I did, and I guess I just got tired of like being so like fucking just stupid, bro. Just like this piece of shit. No one trusts him. Oh, don't let him over at the house. Like,
shit.
I really didn't see myself like becoming all that, but the drugs like really kind of amplified like a bad side of myself that I had.
Right.
And
that's got to be crazy to just be that guy who like, Nick Petty's coming around, you better hide your stuff.
Yeah, it was, dude, it was like that. It was 100% like that. It was like, oh no, like this kid's into drugs and shit. Man. Yeah, it was weird, man, because now it's been like a decade, and I mean now I smoke pot and shit, but what helped me was like I went to meetings. I had a lot of pending things going on, so I went to jail. And that was just something I never really saw myself going to, like I never really saw myself going to a county jail.
Right. No one, growing up, no one ever like is 6th grade and 7th grade. Like, guys, I can't wait till I go to jail. Can you imagine?
It wasn't
like no one ever plans on going to jail.
It
Wait,
was
so
whack.
so really quick, Petty, sorry.
Yeah.
What jail did you go to?
I went to San Francisco's and Marin County Jail and San Bruno Jail. And the stories on all those are pretty interesting on like, because I went during a time when all the people who went to jail were people who were in prison but didn't do violent crimes. So they all went to the county jail. So it was like a really kind of like convict vibe. Like it was a bad time to go to jail. And one of the times that I had to go to San Francisco, what I would do is I would buy a bunch of pills at once, you know, so that way for like a month I could chill in my room, I could play video games, I'd have a bunch of pills or whatever, you know.
Holy shit.
And they thought I was selling. So that's how I got caught up in San Francisco. In Marin, it was like writing bad checks or whatever. But yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And the politics in jail were a lot like prison, where you have to be with only white people, and the black people are the black people, and the Mexican and the black. And I had a cellmate actually at the time who was half black and half Mexican, a good friend of mine. You know, he's kind of in a bad way still, but
yeah,
it was a big deal at that time that I did that. And like people were walking by the cell being like, "Hey, Peckerwood, like, what the fuck are you doing? You want to get your ass kicked?" You know, so it was intense sometimes. You know, it was intense.
So so you went through that, and I want to like share, because we're sharing some dark stories. I want to share like a positive story about you.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of good times. We performed together. Yesterday we were vibing and jamming at a park for a couple hours.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. Awesome people there.
Yeah, but like there was this one, my first like real memory of you, and Kat was there too. I don't know, Kat, if you remember this. Me and Kat were hanging out a lot in Novato.
Yeah.
At the time, which is a town north of San Francisco. And we went to In-N-Out Burger, like, you know, open late, just a burger joint open late. And we walk in there, and it's like basically empty. It's like 1 a.m. And then I hear this just loud, distorted guitar and this guy singing. And I'm like, what is that fucking noise in In-N-Out? Where is this coming from? And then I just see this guy, just you alone with an electric. Usually it would be like a guy with an acoustic guitar. And even that's crazy. But you had like a portable amp, your electric guitar, just so. And then like the In-N-Out employees, I'm like, you guys let this guy? And they're like, it's better he does
Dude,
this.
I don't know how that shit would happen like that. I would get away with like a lot of shit. They just thought it was funny, or I don't know. It's weird.
No, and the coolest part about that night is like me and Kat at first were like, is this guy out of his mind? And then 20 minutes later, as we're eating our burgers, being annoyed, we're like, you know what, let's go fucking talk to this guy. So we were talking to you, and then we turned it into a crazy freestyle session where me and Kat were going back and forth, and you were playing on the guitar, and it was just a cool moment.
Now that you bring this up, I remember it, but this would have been something I would have completely forgot about, unfortunately. Shout out to weed. Dude, like that's amazing. I do remember that. Petty, you're a beast, man. You too,
man.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen your journey from where you were and where you started out to where you are now, man. And it's
dude, same
really
with
amazing.
you, man.
What do you think well, I just want to ask you. Oh no, go ahead. You were saying you remember. What do you remember?
He was about to say something nice about you, Kat. So Kat's like,
well, I think because that was during like this time for like people that don't know, like listening about like the Bay Area, like hip hop culture. There was like Avi, Catalyst, Will Russian was filming a lot. Then you had like Notro and a lot of like really dope artists in this thing called Team Backpack.
And then you had like fourth and fifth tier, and then you had wannabes like E-Money who wish they were that good.
No. But I would see, I'd hear you guys, and I forget who I'd heard you from again, like just kind of probably weed too, like bad memory. But I do remember like just hearing these artists and being like, all my homies be like, these guys are better than the radio. Their numbers are getting big. They're creating their own like DIY thing. It's fucking huge. And it's going to New York. And so I remember when I was playing, I probably kept playing because I'm like, I want to get those homies to try to like freestyle or some shit.
Yeah.
When I saw you guys walk in.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of fucking got lost.
No, that's awesome.
No, it's all good. Well, what I was going to ask you, but before I wanted to deflect it back to my compliment, was what I was going to ask you was, I've seen what's happened for you and how your band has kind of grown and come into its own more. Like, what do you think is attributed to that growth the most? Like, what do you think, like what can you say that's gotten you? Because there's a lot of people who listen to our podcast and who talk to us who want to grow as a musician. What do you think helps you the most?
Man, like honestly, one of the things that I always like think of it as politicians with instruments and shit. So it's like you can be the best, like coolest person everyone would vote for, but if no one's heard of you, then that's a problem. So you have to like lightweight, you have to get good at marketing, and you have to have talent. You know, those are the two things in my opinion. And just a lot of time, like I would spend like just like talking to people in different countries and music groups and like checking out their music, they check out mine, so that way it's like we're kind of like alley-ooping a fan base back and forth. And a lot of people in Europe and Canada and Pacific Northwest. But we just practice a lot. Alex, our guitarist, is good at promoting. Brett sold like over 1,000 albums out of a coffee shop that he worked at. So like a lot of us just have the hustling mentality, kind of like the hip hop artists, the ones that are doing good.
I will
That,
say
like-
this: if you live in the Bay Area and you don't know of the Happies, you at least have seen their sticker, and
Yeah.
you know that they exist because you guys put stickers literally everywhere. I don't know how many
Everywhere.
people you've hired on your street team, or how much just fucking Red Bull you're drinking, pulling all nighters, but it's no. You guys really spend a lot of time getting yourself out there. You know.
Thank you, man. Hey, it means a lot. I mean, everyone's got their own thing. Like, I think that for some reason, Facebook groups, even though they're like, you know, that was like a more back 2000s type thing, it's worked. And YouTube and Spotify are the main three things. You know, obviously Instagram and stuff for like kind of just like letting people know about like the band members. But
yeah,
man, just a lot of drive and a lot of like knowing what you got to get done and doing it even though it sucks, I guess, you know.
So I want to know, like,
work hard.
I want to know, because like you're the lead singer of the band, you're the front man. When you watch, I hope a lot of people watching this podcast will check out the Happies. We'll put a link to your thing. You see these music videos, you're like the front man. How did that not go to your head? Because man, when I let it go to my head, but like, how did you deal with like getting, because around Novato and the Bay Area, a lot of people know you.
Yeah, Novato for sure. And
how'd you
like,
deal with the attention?
I guess just like, dude, so mine, like in the beginning, like I wasn't as good, and I was hooking up with a lot of people, shitting where you sleep, and then, you know, just like a lot of drama, bro. And like, so I had like haters pretty young, and then I just kind of like was like, all right, well, I'll try to avoid that. But I guess basically I'm always like probably a little bit of fear of like, you know, those like haters from back in the day, I guess, or something, or like just trying to be like mind my P's and Q's and shit. And like, I don't know, man. I guess I try to think of how I would, if I met somebody and they were like an icon of mine, how would I want them to be like? And then I just try to like, you know, it's just like trying to practice like,
right.
But and also if I don't, my ego and shit will like kind of like make me get less shit done. I think I'm like addicted to getting shit done or something.
Right.
So like I follow that a lot, trying like the drive of accomplishment. Like 50 Cent and shit used to always say that, you know, like he's addicted to success and shit. I kind of relate to that a little bit, you know, like
I think
a lot of it's shitty a lot, but you know, like
you have it.
Cool.
And you have an addictive personality, and I've heard so many stories of people who have like addiction backgrounds, but like then they just channel their addiction into something constructive like music, and then they end up succeeding hardcore. So I think that's like what you did. Like you're like a music addict, and and it's cool because like your songs, they just sound like songs that you probably were just like chilling, smoking pot with your friends. I've been sleeping on someone else's couch. Like that's something that I could see. That's one of my favorite Happy songs. Someone else's couch.
Thank you, brother.
I could just see that, like a bunch of people just like drinking at a shitty apartment, just like chanting that song, and then you like, you know, turned it into a really cool song to listen to, and it's
hey man,
you know, testament to that.
Means a ton, for real. Yeah, a lot of them were like kind of like work songs too and shit about getting like fired and blah blah blah. And like I guess too, like I got fired from so many jobs that I just was like, I know what I got to do. I know I have to get my numbers up and shit like that. I know I have to, if like I'm not speak on that. It's all back.
Yo, it froze. My thing's frozen right now.
Sometimes you just get so good at music that they throw you into the matrix. That's what just happened to Nick Petty right now.
Yeah.
Just
He
flew me in there.
got frozen. He's frozen, and I was frozen for a second. Cat, you were frozen. Hey, yo, Nick, you there?
Let's hold on.
I think he's while he's figuring things out. I like your Hawaiian shirt. Hey Kat, how do you choose what you're gonna wear for the day?
Today I went and saw a family of mine that I haven't seen for a while. Armenian aunts and uncles and people who are a little bit older, and my cousins. So I decided this is a perfect time to bring out my Hawaiian shirt. It's a nice casual vibe, and I think I rock it well. So I threw it on, and I said, let's keep it on for the podcast. I've been slipping a little bit on my podcast outfits. You didn't clown me enough on my last Steve Jobs turtleneck.
Oh okay. Yeah,
you should have given me more crap for that.
Yeah, that's we need to get better at shitting on each other. We're too nice to each other. I think Petty is having trouble. I'm gonna Petty, you there? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove him because it's kind of like it's just weird. And then what I'm gonna do is okay, cool. I just removed him. It's not letting me remove him. He is just part of my life forever now. But what I will say is for everybody watching, I'm going to put a link to the Happy's music in the bio. They have a lot of music videos. Highly recommend checking them out. No matter what genre of music you listen to, you're going to like the Happy's. I feel
the Happy's
so.
Rock, man. The Happy's rock.
He's
done a good job with the branding and all that. And what he was saying, it's, do you think it's easier for like rock musicians to have a brand and a scene than it is hip hop? The hip hop market's really oversaturated, like we talked about last time. And I think
totally
when you make rock music, it's like a lot easier to just like have a brand and what people know you for, I guess. And I don't know if that, makes sense, but I think when I see the Happies, I just see like the Happies, happy, fun loving, like group of guys who talk about, life experiences and know that they're fuck ups, but they're lovable fuck ups and okay with it. And that's what I get when I, think about the Happies. So everyone needs to, it's working on your branding and stuff, but they've got it down, man. And honestly, just talking to Nick Petty for the time that he was here inspired me to want to do more.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. I think he's gonna hop back in and just do, cause I feel bad, not having him do his last words, but yeah, no, it's cool. And it's just cool when you have like cause that's so true. Cause every single time we perform a local show, we are reminded how many rappers there are. Every single time somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I love your set, or says anything to me, it's always followed by the way, I'll be doing my rap shit too, bro. We should do a track. And then they're like, and then you're just like, oh God. And then they're like, cool, let me follow you. And then they follow you, and then they just continue to hit you with song after song, like, yo, you should hop on this. And they give you no choice but to tell them, I don't want to do music with you, bro. They give you like, rappers are like fucking flies that don't die, and you hit them off and they keep coming back.
I mean, the biggest thing that bothers me when someone follows me and they're a rapper is when they'll just send me a message of a new song they put out. Like,
oh my God,
it's just a message of a new song they put out. There's no like, hey Kat, hope you're doing good today. I just released a new song and would like you. It's literally just, here's the new song. It's like you're hooking up with a girl and she never even said anything about going down on you, and you're just shoving your dick in her face. It's like, dude, get your fucking dick out of my face. Like,
right.
Say hi to me first. What's up, bro? How you doing? No, instead, song link.
Exactly.
Song link.
It's like going to a restaurant, and instead of them putting the food on a plate, they say open your mouth, and they just cram the food down your throat and say pay me and leave.
And then you want to tell them like, hey man, this is one of your worst marketing strategies you can do. It is literally a complete waste of your time. Like, this is you're on some like early Facebook type shit right now. like, hey man, just message a bunch of people your song, man. People are going to respond. Like, no, message a bunch of people your song and get unfollowed really quick,
Exactly.
or blocked or ignored because it's annoying to people. Don't do
But
that.
their mentality is, well, at least they know about me. At least I'm on their radar. It's like, yeah, you're on our radar for being super annoying. You know, and your reputation shit now. You
I
know,
mean, I've had people who our conversation started with them complimenting me on my music and being like, I fuck with your shit, and me being like, yo, that's dope, man. Thank you so much. And then being like, check out one of my songs, and me checking it out and being like, hey, this is actually kind of cool. And sending them a message back and being like, pretty dope, man. Like, keep at it. Like, much love. And then the next time they send a message to me, just the song. And I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And then I'm like, cool. That was cool. It was, you know, it was all right. Sometimes it's not even as good as the first one they sent you. So it's kind of like, all right, well, I don't know what you're. And then the next time they send you a message, just the song. And then by the fourth time that they're sending you a message and it's just the song, you're like, dude, I don't even want to talk to you no more, bro. Like, cool. You complimented me in the beginning. We talked. We were homies. Like, hit me up on like, maybe you want to collab on a song. Maybe like, don't just keep sending me songs now. It's like feeding a cat and you feed the cat and now the cat's back every single night to try and get more food. It's like, dude, just release your shit, do good, be on your hype. And if I find out about you again or hear about you again, I'll hear about you.
right. You know who you need to focus on is not like these rappers that you look up to. You need to focus on the people who are following you and entertaining them and getting those people to share your shit. Because the best thing, the way to really get on our radar, not saying that we're anything, but the way to get on our radar or like rappers that you look up to's radar is getting other people to share your shit and have your work, have other people talk about how good your shit is instead of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. There's this one guy back in the day who actually performed at the Alien, who went to the Alien Family show that me and you, I think I opened for you guys. It was back in 2016. And he was just in the crowd, a guy who did music. And he like sent me a message like, hey, really loved your set, you know, stay in touch. I didn't even know he did music. Like, I had no idea. He just was a cool guy, and all he was focused on doing was developing a relationship. So I followed him, and we just stayed in touch and talked because he was a cool guy. Then fast forward 4 years, I see like one of my friends share his music, and I'm like, wait, this guy does music? Then I checked him out, and his shit is like, he's a really good artist, and it's starting to do well. And it's like, that guy did it the right way, you know. Focus on developing actual relationships with people.
Absolutely, bro.
You know?
Absolutely. Like the messages of like, hey man, in hip hop getting started, what advice for me do you have to get on? The advice is always the same, dude. Release stuff, work on it, put stuff out, work on your craft, try different things. If you feel like your stuff's not as good as you want it to be, try different things to get better. Put some money into your stuff, promote it.
Right.
Surround yourself with people who aren't just yes men. See where it goes, see where it takes you. And you know what, bro? Like, figure it out and get to it, dude. Because like, you're not going to get handouts. You're not going to get people just helping you because they want to help you. Like,
right. And I'm not a hater when I don't respond and leave you on red. I have nothing constructive to say when you just send me a link ever. Yeah, so, but I do, you know, wish nothing but the best for rappers. And this is another thing that I was thinking while I was walking, and I want to get it off my chest. When people ask me what inspires me, I will say this. What inspires me more than like actual like successful artists are like artists out there who haven't seen much growth, and to everybody in their life probably seem crazy for continuing to put out music, but they still do it because they believe in themselves or they're delusional, whatever it is. That inspires me to make more music when I see somebody with little to no fans who's just continuing to put music out. That shit, it makes me want to do music too. So anybody watching that who does that, I just want to say I appreciate you. Seriously.
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You're
I feel it.
you're not talking into your
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I feel it, man. I feel it. Yeah, it's just a weird thing. People also have a misrepresentation. Like, people have a misunderstanding, is what I'm trying to say. A misunderstanding of what your impact can be for them if you repost their song, or
Right.
like what like. I had an artist that we both know. You have a strange history with this guy. I'm not going to say who it is, but like, he used to always hit me up and say like, we just dropped a new song. Could you post it? And I'm just like, finally one day I broke it down to him and he got really offended. I'm like, I'm not going to post your new song. He's like, oh, all right, man. Like, that's cool. Like, I don't like kind of see how it is or whatever. And it's like, dude, like, me posting your song is going to do nothing for you, bro.
Right.
Like, it's going to do literally nothing for you. I post my own songs and they don't go up. I'll show you the metrics of when I post a story, how many people see it and how many people actually click on it and whatever. Like it is like, and this is back a few years ago. And now this guy's doing better for himself. He put money into his career. He stopped asking for handouts probably, and he's seeing better numbers and doing better. Like you come to a realization point where you're just like, that's how I feel now. It's like,
I get weird about, I get weird about asking people to I've never asked somebody to share my song ever before, because it's like, I'm just of the mentality that if you really like the song, then you'll share it. Like when I want to share a song, it's because I truly believe that the world needs to hear the song. And if I'm not making music that's making people feel like that, then I'm not doing a good enough job, you know?
I can't agree with you enough. I cannot agree with you enough. It's just like, man, you just got to try different things and figure it out. If I'm messaging someone a song these days, it's not like a fellow artist. It's a blog or a vlogger or somebody who, that's probably annoying too. And sometimes I look at myself and go, maybe this cold calling blogs and hitting them up and trying to, but at least with them, you get prices sometimes.
Yeah.
So if it's worth it, you're like, all right, like I'll pay for this because I believe in my own stuff enough.
Totally.
When I get it on that blog or that vlog, it'll take off.
Right.
Honestly, what I really want to go back to is the hookers in Vietnam, though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's
I thought you'd never ask. So there was one night so the way that you get hookers in Vietnam is like, there's these dudes who are like kind of like the pimps of the coordinators, the runners who just are riding around on motorbikes, because everybody in Vietnam is on motorbikes. So you just have these dudes riding around and they're just looking for like drunk white boys who are fucking horny, drunk, horny white boys. So obviously me and my crew, we just fit the bill. We were just everything, just the clothes we were wearing. It was 9 dudes, no women. We were all like ready to fight each other. And they were like, boom, they just saw dollar signs. So so this one dude was like, hey, you want a boom boom? That's what all they knew. The only English word they knew was boom boom. So like, you want a boom boom? You want a boom boom? And we were like, yes, I don't know what that means, but I will take the boom boom. So we all so me and like 3 other people get on the back of this dude's motorcycle, which is totally dangerous. And at this point we're like, okay, we're all about to get laid here. And then we walk into this room. And then we're like, what the hell? And they have us wait in a waiting room like it's a fucking dentist office or something. There's like fish and shit. And we're like, what's about to happen? And then a door opens. We look through the door. There were literally 10 of the finest Asian women I'd ever seen, just like coming out of the door. And they were like, you guys pick. And
wait, so is there a fear at any moment that some of those women are actually men?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have that thought, because I would have been more. But here's the messed up thing, like, and this is where this is a story where being a good friend isn't always necessary, because this is what happened. That we had 4 people in our crew, only 3 people were able to get on the bike, so we kind of ditched one guy. So I had a decision to make. I was like, do I either, bang these hookers with my friends, or do I go find my friend and then bring him back to where the hookers are, and then we'll all be happy? I didn't feel right, because I can't get my dick hard if I know that my friend is stranded, okay? I know
That's
I'm
bullshit.
a piece of...
That's bullshit. Hey, in the bullshit statements of 2020, that ranks at the absolute top of the list.
Okay,
wow.
okay,
Those
okay.
words were uttered. Dude, if I'll say if even an 8.5 was talking to you at some bar in LA, and I looked at you, because I'm a broke piece of shit, so this is something I probably would say. If I looked at you and was like, bro, I can't even afford an Uber right now, man, and you were just like, but I gotta go, bro, I gotta go, and you can't come with me, then you would go and you would smash and come back. You wouldn't care if I was stranded. Anyways, continue on with what you're saying. Please.
You know what? You bring up a good point. Because I just did, and that's why you're my friend, because you call me out. I just did give a load of horse shit. You're right. I would fuck over friends if it meant getting pussy. But here's the thing: I wouldn't fuck over friends if it meant getting paid for pussy, because I don't really believe.
Wow.
You know?
I can rock with that. I like that. I can rock with that.
I just don't really. I can't really get, and that's why strip clubs, I hate strip clubs.
I hate strip clubs too. I hate them.
Even porn, dude. I don't watch porn. I only use my imagination and jack off My dad's like in the other room. This is so awkward. But I only
That's
I only
that's
jack.
weird. That's so weird to me. That's
Yeah,
so
it is,
I can't. You've told me this before, and I'm just like, man,
dude.
you got a
Because
strong imagination, bro.
the only thing that really gets me turned on is knowing that the other girl likes me and is into it, not that she's obligated to be there. So so with the hookers thing, I like had this chance to do it, and then I just was like, I'm gonna go back and get my boy. And then I got my boy. We came back, and by the time we got back, there was like a 2-hour wait. You know,
If I'm in that situation, I'm looking around. I'm checking for shoulder broadness. I'm checking for Adam's apple. I'm checking. Sex changes happen, man. I would be fearful of an STD. There's a lot of things that I would be fearful of having sex with a Vietnamese hooker, man.
well,
That's a scary prospect to me, man.
that's why you strap it up, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm literally Adam's apple checking, broadness of shoulders. What are we looking at? What figure are we looking at? But it's really funny. What are the price? How much does it cost to have sex with one of the hottest Asian girls you've ever seen in your life?
Here's the thing. I actually made this joke on my story and got in a lot of trouble for it. I was like, the reason I'm going to Vietnam is because I have a hooker addiction. So I just needed to save money. Like after you like factor in the flight and the cheap ass hostels, it's so cheap there that I'm actually going to be saving money with my daily habits. I butchered the joke, but like it's so cheap. Everything's cheap there. It's like hookers. Each hooker probably comes out to like $20, I think. Don't quote me on that, but
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Hey, anyone watching this podcast that's gotten this far, thank you. Give us a price quote on Vietnamese hookers. We want to know if it's $20 US approximately, because that is crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
That is insane. And everything, dude. Just Vietnam. I was in Vietnam for 2.5 weeks, and we took buses and we stayed in 8 different cities. Every other day we were in a new city, taking a bus, staying in a new hostel with people. The entire trip was probably $1,100-$1,200. Think about
That's crazy.
that's how much people spend one weekend at Coachella. It's like
That's how much people spend in Vegas in 20 minutes.
20. Yeah. I mean, man, if you talk about bang for your buck, and I mean literal bang for your buck.
Boom,
Have
boom.
you ever traveled outside of the country?
Yeah, I've been to Sweden, and I think we covered this on the podcast actually last time. I've been to Germany.
Oh, that's right.
And I went to a club, and I almost got in a fight with 2 guys, and I made out with an overweight woman.
Right. Oh,
I think I brought this up.
I think that was your other podcast that you do, because I would have remembered you making out.
I don't do another podcast, honestly. and that night I walked into a deaf bar, DEAF, not death bar. I walked into a deaf bar.
That's a thing.
I was wandering around trying to find a bathroom, and I walked into a bar, and there was no music and a bunch of people doing sign language. And I
wow.
and I looked around like
just like pointing at your dick. You were just like,
no,
like I need to pee.
Like a deer in the headlights, and like an idiot, I said, I'm looking for the bathroom, and they were like, "Get the fuck out of here! You can hear, you can talk
take your voice, take your ears working ass out of here.
Take your ears working ass out of here." And I was like, "Damn, that was a weird night." I almost got in a fight with some guys. They probably thought I was a stupid American pig.
Man.
But Sweden's cool, man. I like Sweden a lot. If you go during the summertime, it almost never gets dark. It's really strange.
Wow.
Like nighttime there is just kind of like dusk here.
I gotta ask, bro, what is it with you and Swedish women? You have like a fetish for like blonde? Because I remember there was one time when I was editing, maybe I'm wrong here, but I was editing one of the Staying Relevant episodes, the reality show, and then like there was one blonde woman who was Swedish, and you were like, "Stop right there! Who is that? Yeah. Give me her number." What I
didn't say give me your number, because I think the biggest way to fail is like hopping into girls' DMs. I mean, there's also almost like no other way to really holler at someone and say, "Hey, like I saw you." But yeah, like I don't know if it's a thing with, I always follow the Ray Shremmen thing or whatever, the song. I ain't got no type.
Yeah.
So I don't have a type. I just like girls that are attractive to me. But yeah, I mean, maybe I think there is a thing. I think I like the accent. And I talked to a girl who lived in Norway once, and we Skyped a lot, and that fell through, and it was a disaster for my life. That story I did tell on the podcast. And also, I was recently talking to a Swedish girl who was really hot and fun to talk to, and she recently got a boyfriend. So it's really dumb to talk to people who we live in Los Angeles in kind of North Hollywood area. It's dumb to talk to people who live in Santa Monica, which is an hour away drive. It's even dumber to talk to people who live across the country. But for some reason, I've done it before and will probably maybe do it again. I don't know. But
it is a bummer when you're talking to a girl and they get a boyfriend. It's just a bummer for the guy because he's going to get cheated on. No, that's not true. Everybody, but do you believe that everybody? Because one guy told me, and I still don't know if this is right or wrong. He said everybody cheats one way or another. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I don't. Not everybody cheats. Not everybody cheats. But
yeah. Boring people don't cheat. Fun people cheat. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's actually kind of actually facts, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think so. I think the girls in my life that I've dated that I was the most sure wouldn't cheat on me have usually been the most conservative and boring. And the girls who I've probably have cheated on me have usually been the most fun and outgoing. So
right.
It's just it is what it is, man. We've all been cheated on. We've all probably cheated. But
honestly, I'd rather date a fun girl and with the chance of her getting dicked down by somebody else every now and then than date a boring chick who's not going to cheat on me, but is just like a brick wall and you're just pulling teeth trying to get her to say something interesting. So that's just me though.
Yeah. I was talking to my cousin today, and he's older than me, a good 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Armenian families can be strange at times. But anyways, he was 20 years older than me, and we were talking about women and love on our way home. And he was just the older you get, the less – he said to me, there's no such thing to me as good sex. And I looked at him and I was like,
wow,
what the fuck are you talking about? He said one of the dopest quotes to me, though. He said, you want to know what bad sex is to me? He's a funny guy. Great guy. He said, bad sex to me when you're fucking a girl and a brick falls on your head. And you know what happens? You know what happens if that happens? Next time you wear a helmet. And I was like, holy shit, that was a bar. But no, there is such thing as good and bad sex. And I was watching another podcast the other day, and they said something interesting, which I think is debatable. And it's sex with you and someone else is never really good in the beginning. It takes a few times to get in to the sex being good. And I honestly don't really vibe with that.
I disagree.
I've had sex with girls where right away it was there was a chemistry there. And even if they lied to me about how good they had it, I really felt they had it good. And they were like, I want to fuck you again right now. Get hard again. You know what I mean? And that's when you've had good sex with the girl. Bad sex with the girl is dead fish, not a lot of movement, not a lot of talking, not fun, don't know how to ride it well. What the fuck is up with you? Can you do something? What, come on.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's either a confidence thing or just how freaky are you? I don't know.
I just love, that's the most exciting thing about life is when you have you never really know how somebody is in bed. I've had the most talkative, wild, they're always dancing, and then in bed they just lay down and there's no noises coming out of their mouths. And I can't get down with a girl who doesn't moan. I don't know about you. A lot of people,
women and men take sex too seriously, man. They get all tensed up and focused and zen with it. And it's yo, you need to communicate with me what's feeling good and what's not, because you're making me feel real weird right now. I'm just what do you like? What do you want to do? What makes you? So I don't know. It's just good sex is good sex. Bad sex is bad sex. I did not agree with him, but I mean, I think that certain things the older you get, so let's say when you're 20 years old, 21 years old, a girl has to be a 9 or a 10 in bed for you to consider, dating her. I think every 5 years older that you get in your life, it goes down 0.5 point. You know what I mean? So eventually you get into your You're start at 20, you're at 20, it's cool. Eventually
Yeah.
you get into your mid 30s, it's like, you know what? She's like a 7 in bed. Then it's okay, man. It's okay. But we all want to, I think be married to and be dating someone who's really, really good at sex.
Good and bad, yeah. A lot of people make the argument, which I disagree with, is like if you're in love with the person, you're gonna have great sex. Not true, dude. A freak is a freak, a nun is a nun, and you can't. It's hard to turn like somebody who's very conservative in bed into a freak. Maybe that's a challenge that I've yet to overcome or yet to pursue.
Yeah, this might lead back to us, man. This might very well be that we don't know how to like if I've had a girl who's bad in bed, maybe I don't know how to like make it better or turn her out or whatever. But like when you have enough, like to me there's a cathartic experience you have sexually in your life where you like just really like, not to be I was about to say not to be too graphic. Fuck it, bro. If you make a girl squirt or you like just fuck the shit out of a girl to where she's just like I said, like she's like get hard, like I want to fuck you again so bad. That was amazing. Like when you have those experiences, there's a time where you like go to the bathroom after sex, you're sweaty, you look in the mirror and you're like, man, if some girl doesn't like fucking me, it's on her, it's not on me. You have you establish that confidence within yourself that like, you know what, like, because sex is such an easy thing to be self-conscious about and not confident about.
Right.
You have that moment where you look in the mirror and you're like, I've leveled up, bro. Fuck that.
Oh
shit.
yeah.
I'm good at sex. And if I'm not good at sex, like it's on them, or my dick just ain't big enough, maybe.
Bro.
And they need something like that's it. And when you get there, then it's easier for you to look at someone else and be like, she just wanted a good fuck.
And that, my friend, is why people drive big trucks or souped up sports cars or have huge muscles. It's because they can't perform in bed. I admit I suck at a lot of things. I'm good in bed. I know I am, except for when I only last 7 seconds. But for the most time,
best of us.
Yeah. But I'm, and it's just good. Like, it's just walking around, like, even when you see a girl, like, at a grocery store, this sounds really cocky and bad, but just knowing, like, damn, I would give you the best dick of your life, and you would be walking sideways, and you would just, everything that you ever knew up to that point would feel like a lie after you got my dick inside. And I have had moments like that, but, like,
you have to think like that. You have to think like that. And you also can gauge it by, like, how many girls have I fucked in my life that only wanted to fuck me once? And if you recount and think about it and you're like, damn, 90% of the girls that I fucked in my life have wanted to fuck me again.
Wow.
And you're like,
that's a good in business, you got returning customers. That's that's a good retention rate, you know?
It is. It's a good retention rate.
It's like, imagine dropping a song and 90% of the people who heard the song come back and listen to it again. You'd be the greatest artist of all time, you know?
Yo, I was okay. And then there's girls who are insanely good at sex too, bro. Like I was watching Call Her Daddy, that podcast.
Yeah.
And we should get to that probably in the next podcast.
Podcast, because I was going to say my friend is I'm going to go on a late night walk with a friend. It's a girl? No, it's a male.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. To close it out. Well, we'll get into this another time, but like,
yeah,
I was watching the Call Her Daddy podcast, and they brought up this term they keep bringing up this term called gluck gluck.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't even know what the gluck gluck is, but my guess was it's when a girl is giving you crazy deep head in the back of her throat, and she's like making that sound that sounds kind of like a turkey.
Gluck gluck, yeah.
If that's what, and this is literally a guess, because I was thinking like, what could the gluck gluck be? And I'm like, I bet you it's when a girl does that. Shout out to all the girls out there that can do that. If that's not the gluck gluck, it's something else. But when a girl gives you like super crazy good deep head like that, like that is a talent, and not everyone can do that. So shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out. We're going to end this podcast with shout out to any girl who's ever gluck glucked. We see you, and we would love to have you on the podcast. But when we're not doing it on Zoom and we're actually having it in person, we just need to see you in person. We feel like it'd be a better effect.
I want to end this with something really quick. You guys, the people that have spoken, it doesn't even matter. It wasn't like thousands of people. It was, a handful of you guys want this to keep going. We're going to keep it going. We're working on it. We're going to make it more, we're just going to keep having fun with it, and we're going to make the production value. We're going to step it up. Me and E-Money are going to get in the same room, and we're going to do it, and we're going to have a nicer camera, and it's going to be away from Zoom, and we're going to cut clips for you guys to watch. But I want to let everybody who's here know, stick with us. We're continuing with this, and it's going to be insanely fire. I promise you. And also, we're putting our lives on the line for this podcast. I'm 99% sure that there are women in my life who have watched this podcast now and are never going to speak to me again and think of me like a douchebag. And that's okay. We're doing it all for the podcast.
Yes. And you know what, Kat, we are in this together, because what you just said times two. I have probably ruined every relationship with every girl I've ever talked to, especially the current relationship. I'm kind of seeing a girl right now, and she is going to be traumatized when she sees this shit. And so are my parents. But you know what, dude? I just believe in freedom of thought. That's what I believe in. So, hey.
Honesty's good too, man. We're just being honest, man. Everyone thinks this shit. You got to have a sense of courage in you to say it out loud. I love you, bro. It's been fun, man.
Love you too, man. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Peace out.